Welcome to this media conference with Declan Rice. As ever, we'll take a fair share of questions from those in the room and also those joining us on Zoom. And we'll get underway with Jess Creighton from Sky Sports News.
Hi, Declan.
Hello.
For some of us that are a little bit older, we are very aware of what the rivalry between England and Germany is all about. As a younger player, though, does it hold any added significance or importance to you at all?
I think the main one for me growing up was the Lampard disallowed goal in 2010. Obviously, the tournaments before 1999, I wasn't born, so I don't really remember much. But the main memories for me was the 2010 World Cup and obviously that game. But like you said there, Germany, at Wembley, it's going to be a massive game and we're all going to be really up for it.
They've got some incredible players. Toni Kroos in particular completed more passes during this tournament than any other player. How do you go about going up against him and coping with his experience and his quality?
Yeah, he's world class. But I think for me and other midfield players in our team, we want to test ourselves against the best. Like you said there, you need to impose your game on him. You need to get up to the ball. You need to make it physical, make it hard, and try stopping him do what he does best, which is spraying it around the pitch.
One thing about the England-Germany match that, from a fan's perspective, is that we're always worried about penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
We know that the squad have been practicing. Would you be willing to take one? Are you up for that challenge if it came to it?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you'd have asked me a couple of years ago, I probably would have said no. But where I've started to kind of take responsibility at club level now, it's about a process in your mind that you can go up there and you can put the ball in the back of the net. We've been successful, obviously in the World Cup. We were successful with a penalty shootout and also in the Nations League. So as a group, we know the process of what we got to go through. But it's about mentally, picking your spot and just wanting to put the ball in the back of the net.
You mentioned the mental aspect of it. How do you practice mentally preparing for a penalty? Talk me through it, like what you go through, the walk up and what you're thinking about before you strike the ball.
It's just repetition for me. In training, we do it properly where there's a whistle and you can take your time and you kind of get yourself in the zone. You get yourself in the way that you want to run up to the ball and you can start there for as long as possible and practice as many as you want. So you're just in the zone and you want to just strike the ball and try and hit the back of the net. So when that comes on a match day, you're familiar with it and you know what you're going to put the ball.
Looking at the draw that England are on, it means that you've missed the likes of world champions France, current European champions Portugal, Belgium, world number ones. Are you happier being on this side of the draw?
The draw could have gone either way. We would have taken anyone because in this tournament you have to play the best and you have to beat the best if you want to win it. So whether we come up against them in the round of 16 or the quarters, it doesn't matter because no game's easy in this tournament because in the end you're going to face one of them. So you maybe rather play them early and then try and knock them out. That's what I'd rather do anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you allowed yourself to dream then in that case? Have you allowed yourself to think, if we get past Germany, we've got a good chance here?
No, because we know Germany is going to be such a tough game. We've got to take it one game at a time. We've got a couple more days to prepare and nail what we're going to be doing, on match day. Like you said there, if we beat Germany, then I think it's either Sweden or Ukraine in the next round. So that we'll take one game at a time and hopefully we can keep progressing. And, in the end, who knows what will happen.
And just finally on the fact that Mason Mount is out of the camp at the moment and self-isolating, how hard has it been for you missing your bestie?
Yeah, lost soul. To be fair, a few of the lads come up to me and said, "You look lost," and I said, as a bit of banter, "Yeah, I am." But it's been all right, to be fair. Hopefully he's out in the next couple of days. I spoke to him yesterday. He tested negative again, so I'm hoping he can be back with the group soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Now we'll take one on Zoom from Jack Pitbrook from The Athletic.
Hi, Declan.
Hi.
You're obviously one of the younger players in the team, but you're also very vocal on the pitch. Can you just talk a bit about leadership and whether you've grown into that and how important that is to your game?
Yeah, it's massive. I've obviously had the responsibility this season of taking the armband at West Ham instead of Noble when he hasn't been playing. And I've just tried to learn off him at every opportunity. And then when I come here, you've obviously got H and Jordan Henderson, but the vocal side of the game is so important because when you're on the pitch, I think, if you're not communicating with each other, if you're not helping each other out, if you're quiet out there, an extra voice is going to help. It's going to help your teammates. So I think it's important to impose your character and personality on the pitch, and that's what I tried to do.
Has it been a big step up? Tournament football in this your first proper international tournament?
Yeah, of course. Like you said there, it's my first tournament, new experiences, learning different things as the games are going on. A lot of pressure. But that's what it's about, playing for England. You're playing for one of the best sides in the world, most watched side in the world. I'm learning a lot, but I'm ready to keep going.
Thanks, Jack. Back in the room, Ollie Foster from BBC.
Hi there, Declan. You've started all 3 of the group games.
Yeah.
What mark would you give yourselves as a team out of 10 so far? There's been an acknowledgement after every game, really, that there's room for improvement.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to say a mark. I don't want to come up here and give ourselves a mark for the team. But I think if you look at the 3 performances, Croatia, 1-0 clean sheet. Obviously, Scotland game was really tough. They come out so far, so quick, and obviously stopped our game plan. But that was another clean sheet. And then the other day was a 1-0 comfortable victory. It could have been more with another clean sheet. So we've looked really solid. There's been a few top sides in the tournament that have conceded goals. And we're yet to do that. We're solid, we're strong. We know what we're going out there to do. And I think now as the rounds are going to go on, I think we're going to keep progressing and get better.
And yourself and Calvin Phillips in that role can take a lot of credit for those clean sheets. But at the same time as providing a shield, you're there to kind of allow the attacking players to do their thing as well. Of the 16 teams that have gone through, England are bottom of the goal scoring charts with just 2. Do you think you definitely could do better in that department?
Yeah, definitely. We know that as players. I think when we qualified for this tournament, I think we went on a stage where we was beating teams 5-4-0, 6-0. But we're not worried. Like you said, there's 2 goals. We know as a team we can score more, especially with the world-class talent we've got. But that will come. I'm sure that will come for the next couple of rounds. As the tournament progresses now, I feel like we're really going to step it up.
Next couple of rounds, you're optimistic.
I hope so.
Yeah, when you look at Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, full of goals, 8 goals, 9 goals, they've sort of laid down a marker going into the knockout stage.
Yeah.
It would have been nice doing that going into the Germany game?
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like some people, or most people, overthink that too much. We was top of the group. We didn't concede a goal, which was massive. And like I said, a lot of top sides conceded a lot of goals. And if you want to carry on winning this tournament, if you want to go on to win this tournament, you need to have zeros. You need to stop the ball going in the back of the net. But of course, we need to flourish at the top end as well. And we've got that world-class talent who have shown that all season. Like H at Spurs, Phil, Raz, Jack. We've got the players to go out there and progress and start to put the ball in the back of the net.
Jack Grealish coming into the side, what did you make of his performance, and did you think, this might have been what we've been missing in that Croatia and Scotland game?
Yeah, Jack, we know what Jack does. I think there's been so much talk about him and him playing. I see him every day in training. He's so technical, so comfortable, receives the ball in tight spaces. And he's a key player for us, whether he starts or comes off the bench. His mentality is always the same, and I think that's key. At a tournament, you need to have a squad of players that can come on and, really change a game if they're not starting, or if they're starting, really make an impact from the start. So that's why it's important to have a good squad.
Getting substituted at half-time, was that always the plan? And what does that do to you personally for the next few days in training? Because obviously we spoke to Jordan Henderson yesterday, and he wants a bit of that Germany game himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, of course. The competition's tough. On the 45 minutes, I don't know what the manager was thinking. Maybe just a precautionary 45 minutes, or to give Hendo 45. But everyone's ready. In training, everyone's at it. Everyone's tough with each other, and of course, everyone wants to play. It's England, Germany. Everyone's ready for it. So whoever gets the nod to play, of course, we're going to be buzzing. But if you're not playing, you're supporting the lads, and if you get to come on, you want to make an impact.
And finally, how deep do you go in the analysis of those 3 Germany games? Do you look at video stuff, and how closely will you be analysing them?
Yeah, it's like club level. Every time you play a club on a Saturday, you're analysing all week. It's no different here. We're about to play Germany, and of course, training's set around how we're going to play and how to try to stop them. So hopefully, we can go out there and do that with a solid game plan.
Thanks,
Ollie. Now we go to Carrie Brown from BeanymanSports.
Hi, Declan. Just want to cast your mind back to April and talk about your mate, Tony Cruz.
Was that on Twitter?
It was. You're going to have to tell everyone about that.
Yeah, I can't remember what my tweet was actually, but I remember waking up to him saying, "Thanks, mate," and I was a bit like, Tony Cruz just replied. But yeah, no, that was a good moment, to be fair. And the lads at West Ham, they were giving me a bit for it, to be fair.
you said watching Tony Cruz is very special, and he replied, "Thanks, mate." And you've also said Muller has to be up there as one of the most underrated players of all time, serious footballer, flames. You are such a big fan of this game, and Mason has said that watching Modric actually helped him. Do you think your passion for the game and your respect for these players will lift your game on the night?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you go back to the tweets, as well as a player, I've always said that I'm a fan as well. You know, when there's the big games on and you're watching, you appreciate top footballers. And obviously that night I felt the need to say about Muller and obviously Tony Cruz. But like I said, I'm relishing to go out there and, you know, put myself up against the best. You know, it's England, Germany, round of 16 at Wembley. You know, it's going to be proper. So I need to go out there and give a solid performance of myself and, of course, as the team.
There's a lot of talk about passes not getting to Harry Kane, but a really lovely move from Maguire and from yourself in that encounter. Is that all just going to come together in the game? Have you got any question that the service hasn't been provided or that Harry can't score? Aren't they all just going to come?
Yeah, of course. I think look at H's goals and assists last season for Spurs. You know, he's the best number 9 in world football for me, and he will create chances for other players, but he also will score his chances when they come to him. You know, like we said in the 3 games, maybe it did dry up a little bit, but the main thing was that we qualified from the group. That was the main objective, and now we take it one game at a time. And I'm sure that he'll be up for that, and he'll want to be part of it and scoring the main goals against Germany, hopefully.
Thanks, Kerry. Now we go to the room with Faker Roberts from TalkSport.
Hi Declan, nice to see you
hello.
again.
You're right.
I just wondered whether you'd been speaking to Stuart Pearce at all about Germany, getting his insights about it, because I know as younger players you don't know that history, but your family must have spoken to you about it, and Stuart, I'm sure, will have done.
No, do you know what? I actually haven't spoken to Pearcey about it. I've spoken to him about the tournament and obviously just being here, the experience, and you know, he's someone that I can always speak to and rely on to give me advice and see how he can help me. Of course, like I said, I go back to 2010 with my family. You know, you always remember that. That will always be like a heartbreak when that goal didn't go in for Lampard. But yeah, look, I think with Germany coming up, everyone knows how important it is and how focused we have to be for that game.
What are you using as inspiration to get you pumped up for it?
I feel like, for me, when I go out to a football pitch, I don't need inspiration to go out there. Like I'm blessed to be out there in the first place. You know, I'm living the dream, which I've wanted to do as a kid. You know, me having even the thoughts of going to play Germany at a European tournament for England is crazy. So that is my inspiration, to go out there and just have, you know, no regrets and just give it everything I've got.
You said that you spoke to Mason yesterday. What have you been able to say to him to kind of keep his spirits up?
I think he's just been on Netflix, to be honest with you, watching a few things. We've had a little chats on FaceTime here and there, but he's been positive. He's been keeping himself fit in the room, I think, as well, by doing a bike and whatnot. But hopefully we can have him out, I think maybe tomorrow or the next day, obviously with the negative test. So that'll be a massive boost. And obviously having Chilwell back as well, that'll be a positive boost for us as well.
Brilliant. Fingers crossed. Thanks, Declan.
Thanks, Faye. And now we go to Zoom. Matt Reed from Kick Magazine.
Hi, Declan.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. There's been a lot of chat amongst fans and pundits and pretty much everyone really across the UK, especially in England, obviously, about the rights and wrongs of Gareth being very cautious over recent weeks. Can you explain the value of the formation to us and why scaring Germany with 4 or 5 or 6 players who are really focused on attack might be foolish compared with like focusing on keeping it tight at the back?
We've always had the same game plan. You know, nothing's ever changed. You know, in the 20 games that I've played with England, we've always had the same mentality: to keep the ball, to pass the ball, and obviously to put the ball in the back of the net. My first probably 10, 15 games for England, we was winning games 3, 4, 5-0. Obviously, recently it's dried up, and of course, with players like we've got, world-class talent at the top end of the field, of course that's going to be spoken about. There's going to be concerns from the fans, from pundits, from the public. But like I said, I'm sure that's going to start to come. You know, there's not been no negativity in training. You know, no one's down on confidence. It's just a thing at the moment where sometimes the ball just isn't going in the back of the net. But I can assure you that everyone's working as hard as possible on the training field. You know, we're doing finishing drills, we're doing attacking sets of play, and I'm sure that will all fall together in the game.
Thanks, Matt. Dan Salisbury-Jones, ITV.
Hi, mate.
I just want to take you back to 2010, when you were 11 years old watching that match. Do you remember your emotions during it?
Little bit. Obviously, I was only 11, and the Frank Lampard one obviously sticks out the most. Obviously, went 2-0 down, got one back, and then obviously Lampard's goal, which was blatantly in. Everyone was going mental for it not to be given. Luckily enough, now with goal line technology, VAR, that would have stood. But yeah, no, that was my main memories of that match.
I just think about your emotions during it.
As a kid, it's, you know, watching major tournaments on the telly, it's crazy. You know, you're watching your idols, your superstars, so your emotions are all over the place.
And just finally, this week, have you noticed the intensity in training going up a notch?
Nah, the intensity's been there since the start of the tournament, because there's always been one objective for us and the manager and Steve Holland and that's to win this trophy. You know, that's what's on our mind. That's what we want to do. So every day, whether it's a recovery session or a little light session, or we go out there and train really hard and it's a tough session, we want to give it our all. You know, we're only here, I think there's 17 days left of the tournament. We need to give it everything we've got. Obviously the Germany game's coming up, and we need to leave everything on the grass. You know, we need to give it everything we've got, and hopefully we can proceed to the next round.
Thanks, Dan. We'll take one final one in this live section, and that'll be from Antonello Guerrera from La Republic.
Hi.
Hello, mate.
Just have a couple of quick questions. The first one is because yesterday, if I remember well, Gary Neville said that England's midfield is not as good as the Kanté, Pogba, and the Rabiot of France.
Yeah.
What do you that your quality of you and the Phillips? What quality you have that maybe the French midfielder don't? And secondly, what's the thing that you're most concerned about Germany?
To be honest with you, I've not read anything, because I've kind of taken myself off social media since I've been here. So I don't really know what's going on outside of football at the moment on Twitter or on Safari or on Google, because I don't need to read any of that whilst I'm here. You know, I just want to be positive and think about us as a team. So I didn't actually see Gary Neville's comments. But yeah, like he said, if he did say it, you know, the France midfield are world class. You know, there's no Kanté's just won the Champions League. He's obviously won the World Cup, same as Pogba. We play against these players all the time in the Premier League, and you know, we know ways that we can get around them. They're obviously a solid two in midfield, but we believe as well that we've got great players and that we can impose our game on them. So yeah, and of course, going on to the question about Germany, what's there to fear, really? Obviously, yeah, they're great players, but it's a game of football. It's 90 minutes. You know, we've got players that can win us games, and they've got players that can win them games as well. You know, it's going to be a real battle out there, but one that we're going to be up for and we're really positive and ready for.
Okay, thanks everyone. That concludes the live section of this media conference.